Nelson DeMille is one of those writers whose books I pick up pretty much as soon as they're released. In other words, what I'm doing is not waiting until I can get it for free from the library. The books are so good, I really can't wait. His latest book is called The Maze. When I went to Amazon to buy the book, I was surprised, really surprised at the number of negative reviews it received. To be sure, it received far more positive reviews, but I was really surprised by the negative ones. The people who didn't like this book used the following kinds of adjectives: politically incorrect, distasteful, sexist, crude, and even more surprising, they said it was tedious. Well, obviously, I couldn't wait to read this book. Now, Nelson DeMille, has written a lot of books, and all of them have been very, very popular. Yeah, he's had some great ones. Take By the Rivers of Babylon. It's about Middle East terrorists. Cathedral. It takes place in the basement of St. Patrick's in Manhattan. And The General's Daughter, which maybe you recall, was made into a movie starring John Travolta. One of his most successful series characters was a guy named John Corey. John Corey is an ex-NYPD detective. He's sarcastic. He's obnoxious. After he left the NYPD, retired on a disability, he went to work with the FBI on a joint terrorism task force. And then he did some kind of work for the State Department in some sort of security organization. In this book, what happens is he's recovering, and he's signed up to be an off-the-books, undercover detective for some rogue detectives in the Suffolk Police Department. And what they're trying to do is to get to the bottom of a series of murders that in this book are placed in Fire Island, but really they're real crimes, and they took place on a place in a place called Gilgo Beach on Long Island. So he goes undercover, and he's working in a private security service, and that's really the target of these rogue cops. He gets to work there, and pretty quickly he takes the whole thing down. And, it's fast. Now, what about these criticisms? There's a certain amount of truth to them. I mean, there is a fair amount of sex. The sarcasm, you got to be really careful when you're reading the book. You got to pay careful attention to the text on the page, because with me, I was finding I had to pay attention so I understood what he was saying out loud and what he was thinking to himself and so on. But anyway, very, very, very funny. And I think the criticisms fairly well taken, I guess. I mean, this stuff doesn't bother me. Now, I will say this, that all the action in the book is really condensed at the back of the book. So the whole, however many pages it is that leads up to the end, it's not really moving the plot along, but that's where he throws in the sex and the sarcasm and things like that. What I gotta say is Nelson DeMille is a very, very good storyteller. When you pick up his books, it's very hard, almost impossible to put them down. And that's what I found with The Maze. Now, having said all that, I'm giving this a qualified recommendation. And the qualification is if sexist, misogynistic, politically incorrect, sarcasm and stuff like that is too much for you, don't go near this book. On the other hand, if you like to be entertained, if you like to laugh out loud while you're reading a book, I think you'll very well enjoy this one. So anyway, The Maze, Nelson DeMille, his latest offering, Not his best. The best John Corey books, I think, are the ones that have the word lion in the title, where he's going after Middle East terrorists. But other than that, still pretty good book. So that's this Sunday's recommendation.